Marty Supreme was one of my most anticipated movies of the year, even before the marketing push with the orange ping pong balls and the Timothy Chalamet, Zoom call, which is all really clever and cool. But I think maybe they knew that they needed that marketing push, and rightfully so. I don't think that this movie was on a lot of people's radars until they started that. But I like Timothy Chalamet. I think he's one of the most, underappreciated actors in Hollywood right now. I think maybe in 20 years time, 15, 20 years time, a lot of people are going to start putting him up there with the DiCaprios, the Christian Bales. I think a lot of people just try to they're afraid of new actors, and rightfully so. I think the movies that we've been getting haven't been that great, but I think they're lumping him in with that, and they shouldn't. I think Timothy Chalamet, I mean, if you watch Dune 2, there's a lot of movies that he's been in that he's really carried. He's really, not that Dune 2 was carried, but he's carried a lot of movies. He's really shined in a lot of movies, and the guy can act. And whatever you think about him, the guy can really act. And I think he really showed that here in Marty Supreme. And whoever his agent is crushing it as well, because from what I know and from what I remember, Timothy Chalamet has been in a lot of great movies lately. So you got to give him credit for that. But I'm also a big ping pong guy. I'm also a very sportsy guy. I love competition. I love sports stories. So this was all in all, I really wanted to see this, but I did not know that this was a Safdie movie. I did not know that, a Safdie brothers movie. I don't know if it was both of the brothers, but it was one or both of them. But the Safdie brothers, who made Uncut Gems, who did A Good Time, they're really known for kind of their chaotic, fast-paced movies that really, you're either going to love them or you're going to hate them. And judging based off, me and my brother went to go see Marty Supreme, it's going to be that way for a lot of people. I think regular moviegoers are going to really enjoy this. I think people that don't really take chances with their movies, that kind of stick to their genres and things like that, I think it's going to be a love or hate kind of relationship here. But besides a point, the Safdie brothers, one thing that I really admire them for is they like to take a lot of chances on themselves and other actors. So in Uncut Gems, they put Adam Sandler in this kind of role that a lot of people don't or wouldn't expect him to be in. And I don't know why they do it. I think it's fun. I think a lot of regular moviegoers want to see actors, kind of like The Rock taking on his role in The Smashing Machine. We all really appreciate when actors go outside of their typecasting and try something new on for a change. And I think that the Safdie brothers really encourage that in their movies. In Marty Supreme, you can see a lot of cameos and actors and people who went viral at some point. They just it's almost Nolan-esque. I know Christopher Nolan likes to put people in his movies that you would have never thought he would put in his movies. And I think they're kind of taking a page out of his playbook, but even going further than that. They're banking their movies. And for example, in this movie, in Marty Supreme, Kevin O'Leary, whenever I saw him in the trailer, I went, that's awesome. That is awesome. I'm not like a Kevin O'Leary super fan, but just to think about, the guy from Shark Tank coming in and being in kind of a big role in the movie was kind of exciting to think about. And I don't know how well that's going to translate to non-regular moviegoers, I guess you could call them. I don't know how well that's going to translate to them. I don't know if that excites them. I don't know if that sells tickets. Maybe that's why there was this big marketing push. But to me, and to a lot of people that really appreciate the craft of movie making, it's really appreciated, and I like seeing actors and directors take chances like this. Apart from that, getting to the movie itself is a Safdie brothers movie, and I think it's the best one. I think it's the best one that they've made so far. A lot of people love Uncut Gems. I think in their previous movies, they do a great job of telling a story, a slice of life story, a hectic, down to earth stories. They do a great job of that. But I think that they really kind of hit their sweet spot here, because this is a sports movie. It's advertised as a sports movie drama. And a lot of times sports movies, kind of like F1, which is a great movie, play it safe. It's the rookie on the come up, and he has to beat the champion, or it's the old retiree that has to knock off the new young stud. And there's a love interest, and everything's fine, and there's this big Disney ending. And I think that this really does well, and I think the Safdies really do well with something like a sports movie. And I'm careful to call it sports, because I would say 80% of this movie is not about ping pong at all. When the ping pong is there, it's fun, it's cool, it's exciting. Like I said, I'm a ping pong guy, so I liked it. But 80% of this movie is not about, maybe even more, is not about ping pong at all. It is about this guy, Marty, and he is, they don't pull any punches with this character. They're, I don't want to give too much away here, but they really doubled down on this character's personality, who he is, what he does, what makes him him. And I think a lot of people are going to be rubbed the wrong way. I think a lot of people are going to love it. Me, for example, I love when characters they don't always have to go through this big Disney story arc where they learn a valuable lesson, and I don't think every character has to do that. And I think the Safdie brothers, with their style in this sort of a movie, it's really a perfect pairing. Apart from that, and I think it's the same thing with, musical biopics. If you look at Elvis, you look at the Bob Dylan movie that Timothée Chalamet was in. They all follow. Those are really musical sing-alongs. There's no point for these movies. We don't even really get to do a deep character dive. We just go from song to song to song. It's a giant karaoke machine. Same thing with the sports. If you have a sports movie, we all know what's going to happen. Why are we watching the highlights? We want to know more about the character, and I think Marty Supreme does a great job of that. Just about every character in this movie and every actor crush it. They're interesting. Kevin O'Leary, he plays himself, but he's awesome. You a lot of people say, well, he's just playing himself. It is hard. It is hard to act. And from some of the stories that I've heard of him being on set, he's acting at 3 a.m, and he's this billionaire, and it's really cool. It's really cool to kind of see someone like a Kevin O'Leary get into this and see how he does. Gwyneth Paltrow was awesome. Like I said, everybody in this movie, the characters are interesting. The characters are fun. They all kind of serve their purpose. And the acting is incredible. Everybody really, I would say everybody really puts on a good performance here. As far as the main star, Timothée Chalamet, I think he's going to be in the running for an Oscar. I think this movie's going to be in the running for an Oscar. I think this is one of my favorite movies of 2025. But that's a low bar. That's a low bar to hurdle. There are a couple movies I'm still trying to watch before the end of the year. But this is definitely top 2, top 3 right now. And I could easily see it sweeping a lot of awards. I could easily see Timothée Chalamet winning an Oscar for this. There's a lot of great performances in here. I mean, this movie has heart. This movie takes chances. This movie is, I'm telling you, you do not know what's coming next. That's why it's awesome. My brother was sitting next to me, and the entire time he said, man, I hate this movie. I can't do this movie. I can't. It's that suspenseful. And again, I think some people will genuinely not like it for that. I don't think a lot of people liked Uncut Gems. I don't think a lot of people liked a Good Time. And I think a lot of people are going to watch this movie and go, oh my God, I don't like movies like that. I want to watch Avatar, which is fine. And this is not going to be everyone's cup of tea. But I definitely see it as one of my favorite movies of 2025. We still need to watch a couple more. But, if I had to give it a rating, I really am between an 8 and a 9. I am between an 8 and a 9. So I'm going to go right in the middle. I'm going to go 8.5 out of 10. I think there are I don't think it's a perfect movie. I think when you think of 10 out of 10, you think of Dark Knight, you think of The Godfather. This is not on that level, but I think it's a breath of fresh air, even though it's very stressful, it's very intense. It's a breath of fresh air, and it almost feels like it's from the early 2000s, when directors were taking big chances, big swings. There was still some heart left in the industry. It really does feel like that. And if you're a fan of movies, go see this. Go see this. I would say this is better than Avatar. I think this is probably going to be better than, obviously, a lot of the other movies out right now. Go see this. This is going to be probably top 5 movies at worst this year. And I think a lot of people, this is going to be a movie that you sit with. You're going to sit with it for a while, and you're going to go, did I like that? Did I love it? And I think a lot of your family, if you bring your family, a lot of them are going to say, I hated it. I loved it. I like this scene. I like that scene. There are scenes in this that I won't get into that I don't even know how to explain were insane. This is a movie that really pulls no punches. So if you like sports movies, if you like drama, if you like suspense, if you like Timothée Chalamet, if you like ping pong, go see it. If you like movies in general, go see this. 8.5 out of 10. Top 3 for me this year so far. Go check it out.